Australia's autism community has expressed outrage at a government decision to deny a Cairns family permanent residency after their child was diagnosed with the condition. As reported by 9news.com.au on Tuesday, 7-year-old Seongjae Lim was born in Australia but has been deemed a burden on the taxpayer, causing the Department of Home Affairs to deny his family's application for skilled regional visas. The Korean family is now facing deportation, after living in Australia for more than a decade, unless Immigration Minister Andrew Giles or Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neill choose to intervene in their case. Australian actress Chloe Hayden, who is herself autistic, threw her support behind the Lim family, calling on the government to allow them to stay in Australia in a post on social media. Read more. The forgotten people waiting half a century to get their Australian visa. Hayden, who played autistic teen Quinny to widespread acclaim in the recent Netflix reboot of Heartbreak High, told 9 News. Com.au The government was looking at autism in the wrong way. Being autistic isn't a burden, and anyone who believes otherwise, especially the Australian government, needs to seriously cop on and pull their head out, she said. Our government believes that people only hold worth if they can provide capitalistic value, refusing to look towards both the incredible, brilliant, out-of-the-box humans that autistic people are, and perhaps most importantly, not pushing a capitalistic standard onto human beings as a whole. Hayden said she was worried cases like this would discourage many families from getting the help they need. This isn't going to just affect this one family, this affects all disabled and ill Australians and immigrants as a whole, Hayden said. This situation is going to discourage parents from seeking medical help for their children because of a real and genuine fear of being deported. Read more. How lockdown triggered Jade's late autism diagnosis. Other Australians with autism were also quick to express their despair over the case. As an actually autistic Australian citizen who was born in Australia, I am disgusted, Nicole, from Tasmania, wrote in a post on Facebook. It is extremely ableist and I do not stand by it in the slightest. Not only does it deny the valuable contributions that autistics make to our society, it also tells Australian autistics that we are not welcome in our own country. As an autistic person, to deny a family residency over their child's autism diagnosis is despicable, Megan wrote in a comment on an online petition for the family, which has so far attracted more than 20,000 signatures. Seongjae's mother Yoojin Yang and father Hyusun Lim run a local restaurant in Cairns. Yoojin said she and her family considered Australia their home. We are asking the minister to give us a chance to live in Australia, Yoojin said. Yoojin said she was extremely worried about how Seongjae and the whole family would cope if they had to move back to Korea. Seongjae's main language is English, but many Koreans don't speak English very well, she said. I am worried because we won't have a job or any income if we need to go back to Korea. We would have to start all over again. Autism Awareness Australia's Chief Operating Officer, Elizabeth Sarian, said what the Lim family was facing was heartbreaking but not uncommon. Australia is the only home young Seongjae has ever known and he is making great progress here with the supports he's receiving, Sarian said. Uprooting him to a foreign country, where he doesn't speak the language and everything is unfamiliar would be a huge setback. We urge Minister O'Neill to review the family's appeal and allow them to stay in their home, and further to review and amend these archaic laws that see disability as a burden to our society. It's simply un-Australian. In July this year, the Administrative Appeals Tribunal upheld the government's decision to reject the family's visa application. In upholding the decision, the AAT cited a report from a medical officer of the Commonwealth which found Seongjae had moderate autism spectrum disorder and was likely to require long-term support services. The family is living on a bridging visa while waiting on the result of their application for a ministerial intervention. A spokesperson for Giles told 9news.com.au earlier this week he could not comment on individual cases due to privacy reasons. All non-citizens who wish to enter or remain in Australia must satisfy the requirements of the Migration Act 1958, the Act, and Migration Regulations 1994, a spokesperson for the Department of Home Affairs said.